Before the name Xbox existed, before green logos, startup sounds, and online lobbies became familiar parts of gaming culture, the idea that a software company like Microsoft would place a game console inside living rooms felt distant and almost unlikely. For most of the 1990s, Microsoft was associated with offices, keyboards, monitors, and productivity, shaping how people worked rather than how they relaxed, building its identity through Windows, spreadsheets, and digital documents rather than controllers and virtual worlds. Historically, this separation mattered because entertainment and computing were seen as different territories, belonging to different rooms, different moods, and different parts of daily life. Computers belong to desks, games belong to televisions. This boundary felt stable. Yet quietly, during the late 1990s, as personal computers became more powerful and as games like Doom, Age of Empires, and Flight Simulator demonstrated that digital worlds could be rich, immersive, and emotionally engaging, this boundary began to soften. Inside Microsoft, small groups of engineers and designers started to imagine a future where computing and entertainment might merge, where graphical processing, online connectivity, and digital ecosystems could exist not only in offices, but in homes and evenings. This idea gained urgency when Sony's PlayStation and later PlayStation 2 demonstrated that consoles were no longer simple toys, but central cultural objects capable of hosting experiences like Final Fantasy, Metal Gear Solid, and Gran Turismo, which blended storytelling, technology, and emotion in unprecedented ways. Historically, this moment forced Microsoft to reconsider its position because control over digital ecosystems was becoming as important in entertainment as it was in productivity. The living room was becoming a digital space. Not entering it meant slowly losing influence over how people spent their free time. By the late 1990s, Microsoft executives began discussing how to protect their presence in a future where games, media, and online services would converge, leading to internal projects that explored the possibility of building a console based on PC architecture. This was unusual. Consoles traditionally used custom hardware. Microsoft, however, imagined something different. A system that would use components similar to personal computers, running modified versions of Windows, supporting hard drives, and connecting easily to the Internet. This approach reflected Microsoft's identity, bringing its software-driven philosophy into a space traditionally dominated by specialized electronics. The early Xbox prototypes were built around this idea, blending Intel processors, NVIDIA graphics technology, and Microsoft's DirectX software tools, which had already shaped PC gaming throughout the 1990s. Historically, DirectX mattered because it allowed developers to create visually advanced games more easily, supporting titles like Unreal Tournament, Half-Life, and Diablo, which influenced how interactive worlds were designed. By bringing this ecosystem into a console, Microsoft was quietly inviting PC developers into the living room. Yet this technical vision was never meant to dominate the user experience. What mattered was how it would feel, how it would exist within evenings, how it would coexist with routines. As development continued, Microsoft understood that hardware alone would not be enough. A new console needed an identity. It needed a reason to exist. This realization led to one of the most important decisions in Xbox history: the creation of a flagship game. Halo Combat Evolved. Originally developed for computers and later adapted, Halo became the emotional foundation of the Xbox platform, offering expansive environments, slow atmospheric music, and a sense of quiet exploration alongside action. Historically, Halo mattered because it demonstrated that console shooters could feel thoughtful, cinematic, and immersive rather than chaotic or shallow. It gave Xbox a voice, a tone, a rhythm. At the same time, Microsoft invested heavily in online infrastructure, preparing for what would later become Xbox Live, envisioning a future where players could connect across cities and countries, forming quiet digital communities that extended beyond physical space. This focus on connectivity reflected Microsoft's long-standing experience with networks, servers, and software platforms, allowing Xbox to approach online play with unusual seriousness. Games like Project Gotham Racing, MechAssault, and later Splinter Cell used these systems to create shared spaces where competition and cooperation could unfold slowly and persistently. Historically, this emphasis on online identity would later reshape gaming culture, influencing everything from matchmaking to digital friendships. When the first Xbox was released in 2001, it entered homes during a period of technological transition, shortly after the rise of DVD players, broadband internet, and digital media. Living rooms were changing. Cables multiplied, screens improved, expectations shifted. Xbox arrived not as a replacement, but as an addition, offering something familiar yet new, combining PC-like power with console simplicity. Its large controller, later refined into the Controller S, reflected early experimentation with ergonomics and comfort, demonstrating Microsoft's willingness to adapt based on user feedback. Over time, this adaptability became part of Xbox's identity. Yet in its earliest form, Xbox was still searching for balance between work and play, between technology and rest, between innovation and familiarity. It was learning how to belong. This first chapter of Xbox history is therefore not about dominance or competition, but about transition, curiosity, and careful entry into space shaped by habit and memory. Before ecosystems, subscriptions, and digital libraries, there was simply a company learning how to speak the language of evenings. And that is where the Xbox story truly begins. When Xbox slowly found its place inside homes, another transformation was quietly taking shape beneath the surface, one that would not appear immediately on the screen, yet would eventually reshape how people understood play, distance, and connection, as Microsoft began building what would later become Xbox Live. During the late 1990s and early 2000s, internet access was still uneven, often arriving through dial-up connections, slow modems, and shared household phone lines, which made online interaction feel fragile, temporary, and sometimes unreliable, yet filled with possibility. Microsoft, having spent decades developing network infrastructure for businesses and institutions, recognized that connectivity would soon become as important to entertainment as it was to work, and began imagining a gaming environment where identity, communication, and shared presence could exist beyond physical space. Historically, this vision reflected the company's experience with Windows servers, enterprise systems, and online services such as MSN, Hotmail, and early multiplayer PC networks, all of which influenced how Xbox Live would later be structured. Rather than treating online play as an optional experiment, Microsoft approached it as a foundational element, designing the original Xbox with built-in Ethernet support, a rare feature among consoles at the time, signaling long-term commitment rather than short-term novelty. This decision distinguished Xbox from competitors, as Sony's early PlayStation systems relied more heavily on external adapters and fragmented services, while Nintendo focused primarily on local experiences. Titles such as Halo 2, Project Gotham Racing 2, Mech Assault, and Rainbow Six 3 became early examples of how online play could feel structured yet relaxed, competitive yet personal, enabling players to meet repeatedly in familiar digital spaces that slowly formed communities. Historically, Halo 2's 2004 release marked a turning point, as it demonstrated that console-based online shooters could reach mainstream popularity, with millions of players logging in nightly, creating rhythms that blended gaming with daily routines. Xbox Live also introduced subscription-based access, normalizing the idea that online infrastructure required continuous maintenance, security, and moderation, which in turn shaped later digital platforms across the industry. Beneath these systems, Microsoft quietly applied lessons learned from corporate networks, emphasizing stability, identity management, and server reliability, ensuring that connections felt persistent rather than temporary. Over time, this reliability allowed players to form long-term friendships, rivalries, and habits, transforming gaming from an isolated activity into a social landscape that extended beyond the living room. Evenings began to include familiar usernames, repeated encounters, and shared memories formed through small moments of cooperation or friendly competition. From a psychological perspective, this continuity mattered because stable digital identities support trust, recognition, and belonging, making online spaces feel less anonymous and more human. Historically, this approach contrasted sharply with earlier PC multiplayer environments, which were often fragmented across private servers and informal networks. Xbox Live centralized these experiences, making participation simple and predictable, reducing technical barriers and emotional uncertainty. Yet despite this growing connectivity, Xbox maintained its calm presence in the home, as online sessions could be entered and exited without consequence, preserving the optional nature of play. Players were not trapped by progress systems or endless obligations, but could log in, connect briefly, and return to offline life without penalty. This balance between connection and freedom became one of Xbox's defining qualities, shaping how later consoles approached social gaming. In retrospect, Xbox Live did more than connect players. It taught an entire generation how digital relationships could coexist with everyday life, blending technology with routine rather than replacing it. As broadband expanded and global networks strengthened, the foundation laid during these early years continued to influence matchmaking systems, digital storefronts, and online communities across modern platforms. Beneath all technological advancement, however, remained the original intention of making connection feel simple, familiar, and quietly supportive rather than demanding. As Xbox Live continued to grow and digital connections became part of everyday gaming life, Microsoft began preparing for a new chapter that would define not only the future of the brand, but the emotional memory of an entire generation, leading to the creation and release of the Xbox 360 in 2005. During the early 2000s, the gaming industry was entering a period of rapid technological change, with high-definition televisions becoming more common, broadband internet expanding globally, and players beginning to expect smoother visuals, faster loading times, and deeper online integration. Microsoft recognized that the next console would not simply be an upgrade, but a statement of identity, reflecting everything the company had learned from the original Xbox and Xbox Live. The Xbox 360 was designed to feel lighter, more modern, and more welcoming, with a curved white body, wireless controllers, and a user interface that emphasized accessibility and personalization. Historically, this mattered because it marked Microsoft's transition from an experimental entrant into a confident platform creator. At the center of this transition was the introduction of the Xbox Guide and the Achievement System, which transformed gaming from isolated sessions into continuous personal journeys, where progress, effort, and exploration were quietly recorded and celebrated. Achievements, measured through gamer score, encouraged players to experience games more fully, exploring hidden paths, optional challenges, and alternative play styles, not through pressure, but through gentle recognition. Games such as Gears of War, Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare, Oblivion, Mass Effect, and BioShock became defining experiences of this era, blending cinematic storytelling, online competition, and immersive worlds in ways that felt both intense and personal. Historically, Gears of War demonstrated how console shooters could combine tactical cover systems with emotional narratives, while Call of Duty 4 redefined multiplayer progression through persistent unlocks and ranking systems. At the same time, Xbox Live on the 360 expanded into a complete social ecosystem, introducing party chat, friend lists, digital avatars, and integrated messaging, allowing players to remain connected even when playing different games. This created a sense of continuity, where friendships extended beyond individual titles and became part of everyday routines. Evenings were no longer defined by a single game, but by shared presence across multiple worlds. Microsoft also invested heavily in digital distribution through Xbox Live Marketplace, offering downloadable games, demos, themes, indie titles, and later full retail releases, gradually shifting gaming culture toward online libraries and permanent digital identities. Titles such as Geometry Wars, Braid, Castle Crashers, and Limbo emerged from this environment, proving that small artistic experiences could coexist with large blockbuster productions. From a historical perspective, this period marked the beginning of the modern digital gaming economy, where ownership, access, and memory became increasingly connected to online accounts rather than physical discs. Yet despite this expansion, the Xbox 360 maintained a balance between intensity and comfort, offering spaces where players could compete, explore, or simply exist without obligation. The familiar startup sound, the gentle glow of the power button, and the consistent dashboard design became emotional anchors, signaling the transition from daily activity to personal time. Over years of use, consoles accumulated memories, scratches, profiles, save files, and friend lists, becoming personal archives rather than disposable devices. When later hardware revisions such as the Xbox 360 Slim appeared, improving reliability and reducing technical issues, they reflected Microsoft's commitment to long-term presence rather than short-term novelty. In retrospect, the Xbox 360 era represents the moment when gaming became deeply woven into social identity, emotional history, and digital belonging, shaping how millions of people understood friendship, competition, creativity, and rest through interactive worlds. As the Xbox 360 matured and became a familiar presence in millions of homes, Microsoft began exploring a new direction that would expand gaming beyond traditional controllers and experienced players, leading to the creation of Kinect and a broader vision of interactive entertainment that focused on movement, accessibility, and shared physical presence. By the late 2000s, motion-based gaming had already gained attention through Nintendo's Wii, which demonstrated that simple gestures, family-friendly design, and intuitive interaction could attract new audiences who had never considered themselves gamers. Microsoft carefully observed this shift and responded by developing Kinect, a camera-based sensor system that allowed players to control games using body movement, voice commands, and gestures without holding any device. When Kinect launched in 2010, it represented one of the most ambitious experiments in gaming history, combining depth sensors, facial recognition, and voice processing into a single consumer product designed for the living room. Historically, this mattered because it marked Microsoft's attempt to redefine what participation in gaming could look like, shifting focus from buttons and precision to presence and expression. Games such as Kinect Adventures, Dance Central, Kinect Sports, and Your Shape. Fitness Evolved became central to this era, transforming living rooms into temporary dance floors, fitness spaces, and playful arenas where families and friends could move together. These experiences emphasized rhythm, coordination, and shared laughter rather than competition, creating memories rooted in physical interaction rather than digital achievement. At the same time, Kinect's voice recognition features allowed users to navigate menus, launch games, and control media playback through spoken commands, reflecting Microsoft's long-term interest in natural user interfaces and conversational computing. This experimentation aligned with the company's broader research in artificial intelligence, speech recognition, and human-computer interaction, which had been developing through projects such as Microsoft Research and early virtual assistant technologies. From a historical perspective, Kinect also found unexpected influence beyond entertainment, as its affordable depth-sensing technology was adopted by researchers, artists, and developers for motion capture, robotics, and interactive installations, expanding its cultural footprint far beyond gaming. Yet, despite its technological ambition, Kinect's success remained closely tied to its emotional role within households, where it often served as a bridge between generations, inviting parents, children, and guests to participate without needing prior experience. Evenings during this period were often filled with music, movement, and playful mistakes as people learned choreography, competed in virtual sports, or simply experimented with motion controls in relaxed environments. Alongside Kinect, Microsoft continued refining the Xbox 360 ecosystem through dashboard updates, improved social features, and expanded digital services, gradually transforming the console into a multifunctional entertainment hub capable of streaming Netflix, YouTube, and later Spotify, integrating gaming with broader media consumption. This shift reflected changing habits as living rooms increasingly became centers for both play and passive viewing, blending interactive and non-interactive experiences into a single space. Games such as Fable 2, Forza Motorsport 3, Red Dead Redemption, and Skyrim also define this period, offering expansive open worlds and narrative-driven journeys that could be explored slowly, reinforcing Xbox's reputation for both intensity and relaxation. Historically, these titles demonstrated how large-scale digital environments could support both focused engagement and quiet exploration, allowing players to move between action and reflection without friction. Meanwhile, the introduction of Xbox Live Gold and digital subscriptions normalized long-term platform relationships, encouraging sustained engagement while also requiring careful balance to avoid fatigue. Microsoft responded by emphasizing personalization, parental controls, and flexible access, seeking to preserve the sense of choice that had defined earlier eras. As the decade progressed, Kinect gradually receded from the center of Xbox's identity, yet its influence remained visible in later voice controls, accessibility features, and motion tracking technologies integrated into newer systems. In retrospect, this era represents a moment when Xbox attempted to expand the emotional and physical boundaries of gaming, experimenting with how technology could bring people off the couch and into shared motion without abandoning the calm rhythms of home life.